Hello, beautiful nerds. I hope everybody's having a lovely day today. I'm back. I'm back from Osaka. I had a nice little trip. My friends just got back from France. He was studying to be a chef out there, going to like a vocational school. And he's been gone for about a year. And when he left, I was still living in Osaka. So, of course, when he came back, I made it a point to go and visit. We went out and had drinks, which I haven't had alcohol in a while. And I haven't had that much alcohol like in a year. So we had fun. We had a fun time. But I am glad to be back home. I missed streaming for sure. With the double D&D, which I'm not complaining. I love D&D. My D&D crew is like the best. But I am glad to be back. I'm glad to be back on my regularly scheduled program. And did I also miss hydrating? Yeah, I did, actually. I had a big ass bottle of water, and I also bought a big bottle of barley tea, which is really popular in Japan. It's called mugicha, and I stayed pretty well hydrated. But Greed, you know that because we were playing something together. We were playing an alpha release of something together. How are you doing today, boo-boos? And thank you for the hydrate, which has been successfully fulfilled. What the hell is this? The fourth Walpurgis Night, the Noon of Violet. This is new. I've never seen this shit before. So I guess we like have an actual fight now, this Walpurgis? And they never had water or food. Oh no. Alright, I did as you asked, Faust. I looked up towards Faust, away from the PDA in my hands as it rattled and fixed the identity cards into each slot. Today is the fourth Walpurgis Night. The location? It's the same Lobotomy Corp headquarters of the past we visited. Its point in time and branch of possibility uncertain. Thank you. Please proceed the slotted identities. Please proceed with the slotted identities to suppress the imminent ordeal. Whew. I've slotted in the Lobotomy Corp identities I pulled up during the previous Walpurgis Nights. Faust probably wants to study the correlation between Walpurgis Night itself and the IDs that can be pulled up only during each Walpurgis Night. Nice, good luck with your D&D. I'll be looking forward to hearing about how it goes.
Well, it ain't much of business what identities we're supposed to wear, but can't you at least bother telling us where we are? I swear it's always you two.
Yeah, I agree. We won't know what to do if you keep the important stuff just between the two of you, right?
Oh yeah, what he said. I was just trying to find a way to avoid sounding irritated. You have a way of mixing words, don't you, lad? Thanks, lad.
Huh? I guess? F you. Functionally upgrade. Come on. Don't talk about me like I'm a machine or something. That from Faust, that line. Faust cleared her throat in an attempt to clear the air and stem the conversation from going on a tangent. We are at the Information Team Department of the former L Corp headquarters. The Information Team? Well, do I recall the place we had visited was called the Control Team Department? Maybe they add a new department with every Walpurgis Night. The Trading Team and the Safety Team, both adjacent to this department, are currently accessible. Therefore, your assessment is untrue. However, it is possible that there is a reason the first place... Perhaps there's the reason the first place the door connected to was this location. Perhaps further analysis may yield more concrete information. She's trying to take a more active role in learning things for herself. It seems that the events at the warp train rattled her more than I thought. She's probably concerned that similar loss of connection to the repository of Faust's knowledge may occur again. This place is pretty barren, huh? The more I look around, the more I see just purple. Sounds like Yasad's team. Huh. You got that right. Can't chalk that up to just being a corporate office. If you ask me, it doesn't seem like a great workplace environment at all. A good commander decorates their subordinates' living spaces with the morale in mind. Even if it means going against their own tastes, whoever heads this department must be quite unfit to lead. What? Somewhat quite unfit. I bet they're not the only one who's unfit to lead. Ishmael, who was rummaging through a pile of miscellaneous items, muttered from a distance as Otis mused at the ceiling. I found some employee doodles and scribbles back here. Oh, I suppose the department leads were called Serapha. They're saying something about how their Serapha is... Now that's some spicy profanity. I will read them. Merceau, you don't have to read the insults and profanities. Understood. In that case, I will instead peruse the document first and produce a comprehensive summary. That is all. Okay, so first of all, thanks for skipping past all the profanities, but well, that made me feel bad, and I've got nothing to do with this place. It is not uncommon to see department leads shouting and butting heads, but perhaps a physical altercation would have been preferable to letting such bitter animosity fester like this. It was clear to us that the Serapha did not share a very healthy work relationship with one another. Not to mention that not many employees really put their faith in their Serapha. Hey, this Serapha they called Malkuth? She must have been the Serapha at the control team department where we fought the ordeal last time. I can tell from the way she talks that she treats her employees like parts of a machine, driving them to their deaths, replacing them when they inevitably crumble. I guess a wing is a wing after all. Yeah. Look, here's a conversation log with Hod, the Serapha of the training team. Looks like she started off pretty rough, but managed to avoid making things hostile in their office. From the sounds of it, she really cares about her employees. Oh well, that's a whole nother type of annoying though, you know? Then her heart would never have rested easy as long as she was here. The grievances of the employees would have reached her ears nonetheless. She may have given herself doses of painkillers she hid under the label of altruism, that she truly cared for them despite it all. And this, Yasad, must have been, I see, the Serapha, the information team department here, clearly a stickler for the rules. Viper, he was called. Perchance he had an unsavory habit of sinking his teeth into his employees. It's only a figure of speech. He does seem like the irritating type, but he would have served a decent strategist. This appears to be a meticulous record of the work schedules. According to that digital calendar, the upcoming schedule is fast approaching. There is no time to share the details regarding the ordeal. I suppose we should have checked the documents first. A heavy thump of lights follows Otis' deep sigh. The lobby lights suddenly changed and the floor began to tremble. Well, can't say I'm surprised. We knew that an ordeal was coming after all. Still, I wish we'd have some prior knowledge of our enemies this time. Yeah! What in the name of wings is that creature? Vermin, is it? 'Tis so far, yet appeareth so grand in size. Naturally, we whipped around to look at Don Quixote, who then directed our attention towards something writhing in the distance, a thing of bizarre shape, crawling and squirming. If they have appeared in the safety team's quarters as well, then there's more! There's more! Faust, anything you can tell us about them before they start rushing us? I shouted, watching with horror as the curious violet grub-like creature slowly spawned into the hallway from thin air, even though she probably didn't have much to tell me about them anyway. They will not rush us. There were reports that these entities are rather slow. In fact, they're an ordeal of violet time dawn. If they are indeed violet, then it is unlikely we will have much time to discuss this further. We must immediately engage them, starting from the safety team hallway. A similar situation is very likely imminent in the information team and the training team hallways.
Oh, huh? So what? We've got to crush them like there's a timer or something?
That would be an apt attitude, yes. The entities will soon be manifesting in every department. If we fail to quickly clear the zone and seek and destroy them in other departments,
If we don't,
then we may come face to face with the kind of pandemonium we would rather not have the displeasure of experiencing. Every Quillpath counter in each department will immediately drop to 0. And thus, the abnormalities contained within shall be released.
oh bollocks, come on, we just got off that bloody warp train. I think we had enough of this wing shenanigans to deal with by now.
Yeah, zip it and grab your weapon. I'm going in. Let's, fuck them up. Interesting. You know, I'd never seen them up close. Like this up close before. They kind of look like hearts. These are all ones. Maybe we can get a 2 in there somewhere. I love the music. This Lobotomy Corporation music. It's been a while since I heard it. Interesting. So her counter, despite getting to do 2 in the same turn, didn't get affected. So as long as, I guess as long as we do like a single Stamp of Vengeance, maybe it's that you can't unpack or you can't trigger an unpack more than once. That's probably what's going on. Anyway, point is, we can't activate time to unpack more than once. Which is a real shame. I think this guy's gonna get staggered before I get the chance to have him hit me. But having the 6 should activate her this time. You'd have to read her passive, but I'm pretty sure Stamp has a once per turn limit. You can definitely unpack twice in a turn. I am confused though, because like I had the full Envy res as well, right? So like I know Stamp of Vengeance, maybe Stamp of Vengeance has a you know, if this one has a special limitation on it, if this unit's sword is at first seal removed or second inflict burn at the base attack and consume all middle grudge self ones. Yeah, and then that's blunt damage. It doesn't say anything about her glasses passive, but I'm guessing that it's something that like maybe maybe she could unpack twice in a turn. I've literally never seen her unpack twice in a turn. So especially like even since I made the changes and got the you know, the build. I got all the characters set up. I have like all the purple skills, etc. I still haven't seen that get activated yet. On the first seal, if she's at 80% health, she always unpacks no matter what. So you have to have her be at 80% HP and use Stamp is how you get 2 unpacks. Okay, so got you. So it can happen. Time to unpack can happen, but it's very, very specific circumstances. You can't get her to unpack twice in a turn by doing multiple Stamps of Vengeance. Even if she was the only one on the team and we did 3 Stamps of Vengeance, she wouldn't unpack twice in a turn, despite that being technically what you would need to activate to get her to unpack twice in a turn. What I was confused about is that I had 2 Stamps of Vengeance plus Envy Res times 6, and the next turn she still had 2 stacks. So she unpacked the one time that turn, and then still had 2 stacks. So that means like she didn't do the thing. If that makes sense, she didn't do the thing. I'm just very curious at like what the activation triggers are. I don't know, man. I like seeing Levitine come out. I don't know what else to say. I like Levitine. I think it's cool, and I wish I could pull it out every single combat. If I could, I think that would be pretty neat. Levitine at least is possible. The setup needed for the team kill is ridiculous. I mean like I don't know to what degree the team kill is gonna be like something that I actively seek out or something that I'm actually like actively interested in doing, but like, oh cool, grant us love. This is this is the big one. Did everybody just die? That's perfect. I love we got into the room and everybody just died. That absolutely has happened to me before. That's a relief. At least it wasn't indestructible. A rubble of broken stones lay about the exhausted sinner's feet. It's insanely useful, but too bad you never see it because the conditions are too hard. But that didn't last long. I see. It fades away to naught. Yes, while the entity took the form of a stone stele. Stele? How do you pronounce that? Is that S-T-E-L-E? Stele? Stele? I understand, I can infer from context what the word means, but holy shit. Necro, it's pronounced that. An object commonly composed of inorganic matter. It is likely that its existence itself is perceived as a religious artifact in certain indeterminate locales. True. That giant object did suddenly appear out of thin air before dropping right in front of us. The stele, which had once threatened the sinners with its tentacles, soon disappeared from our sight like it never existed. If Faust hadn't pushed me into the hallway just in time, I'd have been... Dante. Wham. We would have all died forever if that thing had crushed me too. We were not crushed by the stele, to be exact. The real issue was the shockwave that came after the crash.
I thought I slipped away in time, but I had no idea the shockwave would be so deadly.
We're going to have to find a way to deal with that shockwave somehow, or it'll be too risky to continue with our Walpurgis night expedition. I'm not saying I'm scared of the pain I have to go through while reviving the sinners, which really, really hurts, of course, especially when it's 12-fold, but I'm not sure if I want to ask them to repeatedly run a mission that's guaranteed to kill them in the end. Moreover, we don't even know if whatever we'll find in here will be worth all the trouble. According to the information given, it's said that the ordeals cannot occur in immediate succession.
They can't occur right after another. What? Did a giant piece of rock have nothing to do with the ordeal then?
Yes, it was indeed an ordeal of Violet. However, this was the nude of Violet. Ordeals of the nude are a degree higher than the ordeals of the dawn, which we already have experience with.
Faust's brows were frowning at a nigh imperceptible angle. She was sighing even as she relayed the information to us, clearly perturbed by something. I suddenly recalled what Faust speculated back at the warp train, that the Gesellschaft may have been a purposeful omission. May have made a purposeful omission. You think this is the Gesellschaft withholding information from you again?
There is no evidence to say for certain. They did not withhold the information regarding the ordeal of Noon, thus. A more likely explanation is that this was merely a manifestation of rare possibility. Yet your suggestion does concern me. If it was indeed a manifestation of a rare possibility, then we must seek for clues in this Walpurgis night that may point us towards an explanation.
So, should we explore further? But, hello, everyone? Can you hear me? A loud buzz, crackle, and an unfamiliar voice broke through the awkward silence we were meandering in.
Blimey, who said that?
Oh, I hearken unto thee! Oh, I guess I can't hear your answers anyway. Ahem. Ignore what I just said. Hello, this is Hod from the training team speaking. It appears that the Serapha Hod, whose name we first learned in the earlier document, is the one speaking to us. Aha, so this is her voice, huh? Gotta say, this is kind of what we all expected her to sound like, right? We are all investigating how and why an ordeal of Noon occurred immediately after the dawn. I understand that an unfamiliar situation like this may cause a sense of alarm and anxiety, but there's nothing to worry about as long as you remember the instructions under exception #40. A measure, which I made sure to mention in every training session. Exception number 40-AA. Just how many exceptions does she come up with? She must be a leader with a very hands-on approach to team management. Commanders who are overprotective of their personnel often make such mistakes. Good guys, I don't think it's time to share our first impressions. We don't know what measure she's talking about. At this rate, we'll get... Oh. There was a dull thwick just as Sinclair began to air his concerns. Did I just get shot? You there, at the lobby. You've been dozing off during our drills, haven't you? I'm pretty sure I explained that in outlier cases like these, we'll be firing physical intervention shield bullets we share with the middle layer. So why are you acting all surprised like you've never been shot before? Haha. Shield bullets? Huh, that bullet does look kind of familiar, actually. We carefully approached Sinclair to take a closer look at where the projectile hit him. Oh, hey, I recognize this. This looks just like the decay ampule. That almost melted me into a puddle back at K-Corp. Ugh, getting unpleasant goosebumps just from thinking about it. You were totally badass though, Ishii, jumping right in front of Dante, taking the bullets for them and everything.
Oh, she went ahead and earned a bloody harpoon in the clockhead's shoulder herself, only a few months later.
Like a good circular narrative structure. Okay, you smartasses.
It is not a K-Corp ampule. What it is true that K-Corp's technology was used to regenerate its employees. A barrier field like this is fundamentally differs from the type of technology used by K-Corp. It is said that Lobotomy Corporation maintained collaborative relationships with other wings, including K-Corp. Through the said collaborations, they obtained bullets and ampules of diverse functionalities, useful for the workings of this company. It appears that the shield bullet is a result of one such partnership.
Wait, then this bullet will...
It is said that this bullet can partially negate physical damage, which is also known as red damage in Lobotomy Corporation terminology. It will likely shield us from the shockwave created by the stele as well.
We'll have a counseling session later about your lack of focus during training. For now, please try to suppress this ordeal of Noon as soon as possible. I'll give everyone a physical intervention shield, so let's try to take care of this ordeal with as few casualties as possible.
Date, let us.
Oh, right. Let's get a move on and deal with the other steles as well.
Indeed, it would be preferable if we returned after confirming the destruction of steles in the other areas as well. We'll have to visit Lobotomy Corporation headquarters of different possibilities as well. We will make use of the Serapha and the shield as soon as we're able then.
I'm gonna Google the... how to pronounce... Steely.
Steely.
Steely. Steleじゃなくて Steely. Good idea. Thanks to the unexpected support from a Serapha, we were able to explore further through the Walpurgis night. All those trainings were for their own good. Is that so hard to understand? It was just that. I couldn't help but think back to Hod's last few utterances that managed to slip through the static. It made me wonder what really went down here at the headquarters of Lobotomy Corporation. It's a fucking meat grinder at LobCorp. Nailed it. It's the only Walpurgis night I've been able to participate in because I'm hard locked from being able to play the video game. Got a little whimsical carnival music popping off here, don't we? Which treats the life and the contracts of the not so famous but valiant Don Quixote. Ooh, is this the Don Quixote? Is this the Don Quixote Canto? He just pretended. Perfect. I just pretended to do a Walpurgis night. Great. The night approacheth with great haste. Yet thou shalt hew open a path, cleaving the shadows in twain, with the blessings and approval of thy family, of which there is no equal. Did you do the last Walpurgis? I don't think the last Walpurgis had. Oh no, it did. It had me just fight the what was it? Not blue, the green, the green dawn. Challenge and vanquish all things perilous, and at last reach true happiness. Thus, how indubitable the magnificence with which mine ingenious adventures of today shall shine, which is our adventure as well. You remember the words, right? A fixer must maintain a head clear of corruption, speech free of deceit, and conduct guided by clemency. A few weeks ago, you got some rewards for spending modules. That was an Ennickaflin event. I don't know if that was Walpurgis. I don't know, but that was the spending modules. The spending modules bit was called an Ennickaflin event or something like that. Maybe that was okay. That was the Walpurgis. Okay, then I did participate in that bit, but is that all it is? Is just an event? And I guess opening up new IDs. That's basically it. And pray, forget not the mercy for the downtrodden, and last but not least, pursue your dream, even if it means wagering your life in the chase. Should you ever fail to stand by even one of these tenets, I'll smack you guys upside the head myself. Steel yourself and always keep moving forward. Is that not a threat most unfair? Manager Esquire, how unfair of thee! Most unfair, I say. What is it this time? For once have I believed that 'twas my time to shine. Much did I wish to be the one to pull off the final flourish in its deserved splendor. 'Twas my chance to mark my name in the newspapers. Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of hoping that Walpurgis would open up, like, I don't know, Refraction Railway I haven't touched because I'm not allowed to, and mirror dungeons are, I don't know, like, droll and boring, but I was kind of hoping that Walpurgis Night was going to be something where, like, I don't know, like, we could go into Lobotomy Corporation. The way that they pitch them in the minis that they do seems to me like they should be like similar to a mirror dungeon where it's a chain of combat events or whatever that are maybe farmable for resources that would have you go back to Lobotomy Corporation or go to the library or something like that. I think that would be dope as hell, but I guess I was wrong, and I should just not wish for cool things because I'm just disappointed. Returning to P-Corp's warp train station seemed to always remind Don Quixote of our last misadventure. She repeated the exact same complaint a few times by now. Oh, wherefore dost thou make an expression of such great dourness, Manager Esquire? I don't even have a face, let alone an expression. How untrue, how untrue! Dost thou not see? All things blessed with existence has a heart. Even the little critters are indeed, even the blades of grass which most people bother not to linger even a fleeting thought upon. Forsooth, an existence of a heart necessitates an expression, wouldst thou not say? That is to say, we mustn't let the strength of the body be the scale with which we judge one's measure. Thus persevere. Let only thy unbending heart be the tool with which thou dispensest justice. Hark, hark. Fucking Christ. Dispenses through me. That threw me for a loop. I wasn't expecting it.
Oh, right. Out with it. Who encouraged the lass this time?
Hearken unto me, Manager Esquire! Some time ago in the freight car of the warp train. Don Quixote, question mark? Don Quixote, hey, can you hear me say something? Don Quixote regards me silently. No, that's some eldritch being who I can't help but wishes Don Quixote gazing at me. She opens her mouth. My instinct is screaming at me to not listen to her, but... Don Quixote? Has ended. No, I don't think it's ended. Is that so? Rocinante, to me, I beseech you. I don't know if I gave her the right answer, though my answer was an almost instinctual relay of a thought that manifested in my head. Don Quixote closes her eyes upon hearing my reply, as though drifting away into a gentle, pleasant dream. And I carefully slip the ragged pair of running shoes she called Rocinante onto her feet. And I make a silent wish. Let her blood-red eyes never, ever open again. Have we arrived? Oh, fie! What devilry is this? Whither hath the villainous blood fiend gone? I love it. Don Quixote killed him. Oh, we need to play Midgard. I would be down to do that today. I think my partner is busy today, so I don't know if we can do anime day, but if I'm free, I will make myself available and we can do some stuff, some Midgard if you want to. Didst thou strike down the cur? And back to present. I kind of feel like we all missed out on something cool. Wish I was there with Faust and Dante when it all went down to see how you guys managed to kill that guy, you know? Let's not leave a certain someone out of the story, She was there as well, though she embarrassingly passed out like a coward in front of that blood fiend. The shame of Limbus Company, I say. SOLC. Pathetic.
Come on, we all passed out too, didn't we?
I suppose I should have been there to take the reins of the sinners. Were you that scared of that blood fiend, Don Quixote? That's okay, I understand how you feel. A true hero standeth still and calm, unmoving in the face of such base mockery. I agree, Rodia. I do feel like we missed out on something big, because when we got there in the aftermath, all we saw was a very confused-looking Dante standing over the blood fiend's exploded, melted parts. Huh? I was standing? Confused, was I? Forsooth, why didst thou not awake me? I would have even forgiven thee for slapping my cheeks upside down. So what actually happened in there? I already told you guys earlier, didn't I? What? You just trailed off with a that's until we change the subject. What are you talking about? Executive Manager, perhaps you were in a similar state of explosive delirium to the one you experienced earlier. I'm referring to the time when your head burst into flames. Oh, no, it's, Otis began glaring at me warily as though my clock head was about to explode at any moment. That didn't happen. That didn't happen, huh? Well, if you won't talk then, I turn to Miss Faust, our second eyewitness. Can I get some statements from you, madam? Rhodia asked confidently, still in the mood to play detective. Faust does not have any information she deems necessary to share at the moment. Gotcha, then right back to you, witness Dante. Listen up. I have an important announcement to make, so pay close attention. I have no idea if it was a coincidence or not, but Virgilius stepped in at just the right moment to divert the sinners away from me. As you're all well aware, we have been contracted by P Corp to work on a case here. I suppose we've done this song and dance enough times for you to know what's coming.
Right. I suppose we'll have a scuffle, a song, a dance, whatever the higher ups toss want with distortions or abnormalities, or what have you. Did I get that right?
Aha! And 'tis a quest that leads us to lay claim upon another golden bow in our hands, is it not? Don Quixote replies, brimming with excitement. Yes, well, if the two of you were able to catch on that quick, then I don't suppose any further elaboration is necessary. However, this operation will be somewhat... No, let me correct myself. This operation will be drastically different from anything you've done so far. It may be one of our most bothersome missions. Well, when hasn't it been like that? I guess it would be pretty bothersome to have to tag along with a group that's 2-3 times larger than our own, though, but the sitter's intuition appears to be growing sharper by the day. Oh, are we actually? You know what? I think I'm just gonna keep these guesses to myself from now on. It's not something that can be negotiated. Well, isn't it better to join a group 3 times our size rather than oppose it? Will this be a joint operation then? Who will we be working with? Can't say I have the fondest memories of joint operations. Memories of pain, if you will. Our mission at K-Corp was our first and last experience with a joint operation. Ugh, I still vividly remember watching Marceau's arm flying off, smacking against a pillar and squelching onto the floor. A more accurate recounting of the event would have included the fact that my scapula was also forcibly separated from my torso. Oh god damn! Can't we just keep this between us? The other guys will get in our way and screw everything up. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I strongly agree with that one. How presumptuous of you all. You'd do well to remember that you're not the only team coming into this operation harboring such arrogant thoughts. This contract is, after all, an open contract posted by the Hana Association, the association overlooking the operations of fixers. Virgilius stopped himself, noticing an ominous aura from one of the sinners. There stood Don Quixote, practically vibrating with excitement. Someone gag Don Quixote at your earliest convenience. Allow me. Anyway, this means that our colleagues joining this operation won't be any ragtag bands of fixers from some alleyway office no one's ever heard of. It's very likely that fixers from somewhat established associations will be joining us. Cute, stop wriggling your lips. I am so glad that Otis was here to stop Don Quixote from exploding into joy. Because if she hadn't, we'd be drawing the attention of every single person in a sizable radius around us.
Right, so what kind of monster are we dealing with this time?
More than that, how do they want it done? You're talking like some shady backstreets fixer. Virgilius looked up just as Heathcliff asked this question. Further details will be shared by our client, who graces us with her timely arrival. In which is explored Limbus Company's not exactly first alliance with a wing. I love how all of the titles are like over the top. This is Don Quixote's Canto, right? Because if it's not, I'm gonna be disappointed. So she's the one we were supposed to meet here at the station. My, what an honor it is to meet the Red Gaze himself in the flesh. Everyone, I'm pleased to meet you all. I'm Cesara? Cesara. Did she? Wait, I could have sworn I just heard her say like Cesarina. But that's Cesara? Joke's on you, it's actually Heathcliff Part 2. No! Fucking no! Although Heathcliff has become significantly more bearable since his personality completely changed and he stopped being himself. This is gonna be Cesara. I'm Cesara, head manager of P Corp, archival department. Archival department. So you're bookkeepers then. In a manner of speaking, yes, it is a rather significant department within P Corp, regardless of how other wings treat their own archivists. If a bigwig like the head manager of such an important department is here to see us herself, then boy, I guess we really are putting our names out there. Not an entirely incorrect assessment. I did hear some things about you and Limbus Company through the word of mouth. What was it? Ah yes, a medium-sized enterprise with its employees gladly braving death to see a contract to its end, all just to obtain these golden bows. I don't remember her name at all, but I do remember this bodysuit. It's a flattering bodysuit. I especially like the bodysuit plus the lab coat. I feel like it's a nice combo. Hey, she's actually making us sound pretty impressive, huh?
Forsooth, I and my dearest compatriots have vanquished countless evils, through all kinds of hardships and deadly foes, braved death indeed.
The other sinners were more confused than impressed by her description, but it was clear from Don Quixote's practically twinkling eyes that she was immensely infatuated by it. We did receive a brief of this contract, a particularly stubborn urban nightmare case, which all kinds of fixtures have failed to rout despite their repeated attempts. Correct. I doubt it is customary for the head manager of an entire department to greet every no-name fixer office looking to make a name for themselves. Correct again. And seeing how you've gone to the lengths to privately deliver this particular contract to our hands, this isn't a simple urban nightmare eradication contract, is it? I sense that your expectations of us extended beyond simply defeating it. There must be a particular task you're expecting us to brave death for, given your emphasis. What an odd feeling. I was gonna hide it from you anyway, but it feels as though you're reading me like an open book. She's like so into Virgilius right now. We stared in dumbfounded silence as Virgilius effortlessly cuts through the hoops to get to the core of the contract. Yes, you people were quite blunt about this when you contacted us first, that there's this golden bow somewhere near our eradication target. I was so astonished when I picked up that call. Your people refused to answer our questions, refused to tell us what those golden bows are, insisted that we let your people inside the zone to confirm the exact coordinates. I almost thought it was a prank call or something. I believe we also made you an offer you couldn't refuse. I don't know if it's a particularly versatile agent or a very proactive intelligence department, but your company has some serious intel gathering capabilities. Cesara let out a deep sigh and leaned against a wall, her shoulders slumping slightly. So what exactly are we eradicating this time, given that we have hopeful fixers queuing up to join the mission? What? Is an escaped abnormality wreaking havoc somewhere like last time, or is it a distortion? Because if it is, Cesara wordlessly stared at Ishmael as she began to rapid-fire her list of questions. Right. Forgot to explain. So abnormalities and distortions are the kind of monsters that may look similar at a first glance. If only our problem was just another monster to deal with. Something had caught my eye immediately after we arrived at this place. The missing persons flyers. Countless flyers, each in search of different persons, were taped to pillars inside the station. Looks like people of P Corp are randomly going missing in no discernible age or gender patterns. Cesara, realizing that we were staring at the wall of missing person flyers, began. As you can see, the flyers are all old, faded, and tattered to the point where the papers are starting to peel off, which means that none of them have returned home safely. So we're not dealing with an entity then. This is a phenomenon? The land where the happiest smiles bloom, the amusement park of fables and legends, La Manchaland. La Manchaland. More than several dozen people have been reported missing, but the real number is likely much higher. Most of the guests who visited La Manchaland, which mysteriously materialized 2 months ago at backstreets of P Corp, are still trapped within. They've gone missing, thou sayest? Yet, how can that be? 'Tis against the nature of amusement parks to be so full of horror, not joy. I simply did not have enough manpower under my authority to deal with this. It was designated an urban plague 3 days after its first appearance, and now it's been escalated to an urban nightmare. Curious. If it is a mere urban nightmare, not even a star of the city, then shouldn't P Corp be able to easily handle this on its own? That's the thing. The other departments aren't really interested in this phenomenon, which means that the Marshal Department won't be sending their entire employees, their elite employees, to handle this case. Well,
Yet, wherefore doth P Corp not deploy their elite forces to swiftly vanquish the risk to the lives of the innocent?
Don Quixote was now completely and emotionally invested in this gripping tale of tragedy that our client was sharing. Cesara seemed to be enjoying Don Quixote's excessive, almost theatrical reaction. I'm curious, is this the same circus that Oswald was hosting? Is this Oswald's place? Because the phenomenon only affects the back streets. Imagine if it happened somewhere in the nest. Different circus. Okay. Squadrons of elite agents from the compression department would have descended the moment it manifested. That's enough beating around the bush, head manager Cesara. What more are you hiding? It would have been a walk in the park for someone like someone of your status and station to requisite.
God damn it.
I'm still recovering from the weekend of funky ass sleep. I'm yawning my face off. For someone of your status and station to requisition agents from a different department. So explain, why did you really go through the trouble of hiring Limbus Company? Yes. My, you really are unrelenting. Fine, I confess. The goal of our department isn't the eradication of La Mancha Land. Huh? Now, you will soon be heading into La Mancha Land with the other fixers. A piece of advice, if you will, do not let the other fixers know that you are here to find the Golden Bough. If they were to somehow find out that there is this mysterious artifact called the Golden Boughs hidden somewhere within that zone, it could start attracting unwanted attention from fixers who consider it a bounty separate from the eradication reward. No need to stir the pot, And I'm sure you are all savvy enough to know that it would be wise to keep quiet about the true objective of our department, if you know what I mean. I hear you loud and clear. Let's keep this hush-hush between P Corp and Limbus Company. We both get what we want, and we can go our separate ways once the business is over. No fuss, no muss. Did I get that right? That's a pretty good summary. Who do you think we are? I can tell you right now that when it comes to OPSEC, some of us might fall slightly behind. It's about time we got to the point. We're only attracting more unwanted eyes by lingering here. That's true. Here's your mission. Enter La Mancha Land, find the thing, or someone that created it, that created La Mancha Land, and bring it to me. Or someone. The thing or someone is too insufficient a description. We do not even know if what we seek is made of organic or inorganic material. So why did you need the thing person who created God damn it. We need like a yawn counter. Who created La Mancha Land? Shouldn't eradicating it be enough? Cesara's eyes twinkled for a brief moment as they lingered on Sinclair. Did I say something wrong? I don't know. I suppose I was flabbergasted by your boldness of daring to ask a question like that. Notice how I'm not asking you why you're looking for the Golden Boughs? Ah. Well, it's not like a big secret or anything. If you really do want to know, here it is. I just want whoever or whatever is behind the case to be held responsible for the damages they've caused. Forsooth, a villain who hath committed such wicked atrocity deserveth a punishment most fitting. And as a little bonus, I get to put some achievements under my belt to give my department a little push to rise above the others. I could use some promotion right about now, you know? She's after achievements. Relatable. I suppose it doesn't matter whether we accept your proposition or not. You must have already reached an agreement with the top brass of our company.
Right, but what if, after kicking the phenomenal's arse, we don't bother bringing in the bloke who made the bizarre amusement park? What do you do then?
Heathcliff spoke crassly, but it was a reasonable question. After all, there was also a chance we could fail to bring the culprit here, even if we wanted to. Well, then I suppose we'll start looking into what these Golden Boughs are, even if we don't get our hands on them immediately. So you'll start getting in our way if we don't bring you what you want, is that it? It would be a rather unnecessary and cost-ineffective research investment, of course, but you just might force our hand if you don't do as we requested. Besides, while La Mancha Land is only an urban nightmare at the moment, its threat level is rising exponentially. This means that more and more people in the city are beginning to catch wind of the case. Numerous fixers from all over the city are gathering here at this very moment to eradicate La Mancha Land, to demonstrate my point. So you're saying that we're not your only option? Mm-hmm. Who doesn't love fame and fortune? We could always get a truckload of willing participants if we wanted to. Oh, and maybe, just maybe, some fixers among them may find themselves becoming particularly interested in these golden vows. I swear, these precious artifacts must have a particular smell that attracts fixers like bees to honey. Got it. You want this mission taken care of before the phenomenon attracts too much attention. Oh, you're cutting right through the fluff again. Anyways, you've got that right. Isn't it fortunate how we both seem to be under the impression that each of us is looking for what each of us is looking for won't be of much use to the other, for now, at least. I suppose that's why you're keeping the nature of those golden vows discreet, and that is why we're keeping it on the down low about what created La Mancha Land. Agreed. The more eyes observe an info, the less value it has. Like run-of-the-mill, mass-produced products. Of course. It's all work talk. I got excited for a sec, thinking we were about to get some nice souvenirs. We have very high expectations for every single one of you. After all, you're all willing to die for this, aren't you? She keeps saying that. This is what every single one of our contracts has been like. Our stability and safety go out the window the moment a mission begins in earnest. We share nothing but our cold goals and objectives, not exchanging anything deeper than the shallowest transactions. I'd grown to accept this as an inevitability, but I do know that this is probably not the right way. Amidst the dull and resigned eyes of the other sinners, Don Quixote's eyes alone burned with passionate fire. Thou mayest put thy faith in us, head manager Cesara. I, Don Quixote, and my compatriots here at Limbus Company shall put an end to the terrible reign of this La Mancha Land, and rescue every single victim it hath claimed. And, mark my words, we shall pinch this vile rascal who created La Mancha Land by the collar and present them before thee. Prithee, smite them with the hammer of justice in everyone's stead. My, you certainly know how to inspire confidence. That's more than I could say for the vast majority of fixers I've known. I, Don Quixote, shall battle valiantly and honorably. Thus shall my name be forever etched in the halls of P Corp. Don Quixote was bouncing up and down like she was prepared to stand at Cesara's beck and call. Please stop. This woman certainly wasted no time figuring out how to turn her into putty in her hands.
It really ain't that difficult to see how the lass works, to be fair.
Well then, shall we get a move on?
Let us depart. Lead the way, Lady Cesara.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sadly, I can't go there with you. Please head to the location marked on this piece of paper.
Yet, wherefore, a journey on thy lonesome shall be so dreary, no?
I think Don Quixote's into this girl. Isn't it obvious if we show up at the fixers gathering with the head manager of a whole department in tow, we'll attract more eyes than superstars on a red carpet? Yep, I'm sure they'll all sniff out our location to P Corp at a glance.
Yet, are not stars of super variety a good goal to strive for?
Don Quixote, this might come as news to you, but sometimes words can mean more than one thing at a time. Here's a pass that'll let you move freely between the back streets and the nest of P Corp. Do note that it's a work visa, however, so it won't last forever. If they can just hand out something so important this easily, I can't imagine why your department won't be able to handle this itself. Sinclair was still quietly suspicious, but that small doubt was practically buried in the brief commotion that followed as sinners gathered in front of Cesara to receive their visa. Wherein the sinners are accepted and respected by fixers and ways of the city. I love the titles. The titles here are, I think, the best.
딸, 배드엔딩도 그 나름의 맛이 있는 걸.
아, 아빠 좀 있어봐. 이런 건 그냥 넘어가선 안 된다고. 에피소드 끝난 거 안...
진진을 기억하고 기록해서 되갚는다는 것을 잊지 마.
형님과 누님들을 당장 집행해주지.
I wish I could just select an order of characters and you know, just have them all. I could even just have them all selected, but just like in preferential order as to like who I would like to be in any given space at any given time. And then depending on the like required amount, it would just put in whoever my first choices were, instead of every single time I have to like, oh, this is a 5, I have too many people, this is a 5 maximum and I have 6, so I have to click off Merceau, and then I go into the next one and then it's like, oh, this is a 6 maximum, but you can start the thing without noticing that you didn't select your 6th person. It's just annoying. They should just make it so that it automatically fits the size and you just have a priority order. Cesara's directions led us to an empty lot in the back streets.
But how is this now? This ain't like the tour area of the back streets either. What's this huge empty lot doing here?
뒷골목에서 이 정도의 땅을 놀리는 건
You could save each of them. Yeah, but then I gotta swap between different. I gotta tab between each one. That would actually fuck my brain even more, right? Like I have the same team. It's just the last thing that I did, the Walpurgis thing, had a max of 5, so I just dropped Merceau. But then we go back in, and then it's a max of 6, so I have to put Merceau back on the team, and I have to just like remember to do that every single time. You know what? I think that it's just a micromanagey thing. It's a whole screen that I don't really ever want to see the prep screen. Like every time the prep screen pops up and it's like, hey, you're about to go into combat. What are you gonna do? I would much rather it just like skip that shit. Let me let me do the prep on the dashboard. And then whenever I go into a thing, just put me in. Just put me in, coach. Skip the screen. I have to restart levels constantly because of that. It's just annoying. Especially for the teams where the team order matters a ton and it's a pain to reset. Yeah, I don't know. It's just silly. I would have like I just want to have my operational like team. And yeah, sure, if I have like different IDs set up, but for the middle team, I always have like an order that I want to go in. Regardless of whatever the size is, I'm going to bring the same people in the same order. And if I have 4 spaces open, then I won't bring these 2 people, or if these people are restricted, then I can't bring them. So just make it so. Don't make me have to micromanage it. It's annoying. Every battle requires different preps. Prep this. How about that? Pants grab. Right. Weird. It's rare to see this much real estate go unused in the back streets. There are a bunch of banners hanging by the buildings for some reason too. Miss Faust and I will converse with the person in charge. The rest of you assess the situation in the meantime. Don't start any trouble. I love whenever he says don't start any trouble, his eyes flashed red. Don't start too much trouble until we return. Thou mayest place thy faith in us, says the person who always starts trouble. He's given up on the slim hope that we won't be getting into any trouble without him. Well, let's see what we're working with here. The empty lot was surrounded by all kinds of warning signs and perimeter tapes, deterring anyone from haphazardly wandering inside. And when we reached out to grab the tapes to duck under them, dude, hey dude, a voice rang out, stopping us in our tracks. Yeah, I mean, what? All right, I'll be nice since it doesn't seem like you guys know what you just walked into. This place is off limits, okay? Off limits. Fixers only, like me and the rest of the people gathered here, yeah? Fix, F-I-X-E-R-S. Civvies aren't allowed on the operation grounds. Jeez, these P-Corp folks sure are sloppy with their perimeter job. Wait, why did you look at me when you said that? Why? Oh, thou art concerned for our safety. No worries, good man, no worries. Fixers we may not be, but the daring heart of justice that burns within thee is just as bright as in our own. Forsooth, we are prepared to brave death to see it. Don Quixote confidently leaps over the warning tape and scampers into the empty lot. Hey, do you have any idea what you're walking into? Hark! We arrive here on a contract, just as you. The contract for the eradication of La Mancha Land. I could practically hear everyone in the empty lot turning around to look at us. The looks on their eyes could hardly be described as friendly. In fact, their alarm at our arrival was palpable. That's when one of the fixers wielding a massive weapon strode in our direction. You here for the hunt? You twerps? Oh man, silly me. I forgot to do maintenance for my weapons. I don't have time for this. I guess I'll go take care of that now. Bye. The obnoxious guy, who was clearly way in over his head, hurried away when the giant of a fixer stomped his way into the conversation, and the other fixers shook their heads as though they knew what was about to happen. You're clearly not fixers from an association. Obviously not anyone from an office or even passing renown. How many more of these small-time freeloaders are we going to take on? Accept any more of them and we'll end up having to split an on of that reward money between us.
We were already getting these bloody tossers rearing for a fight, eh?
He just called a guy a jerk off. I appreciate that. Thank you, Heathcliff.
Emblems on their garbs patiently say Fagnant Office, yet to hunt fangs has to be mean.
You even seen one of them in person before?
Prithee, seen what?
Blood fiends. Blood fiends? Wait, we're dealing with blood fiends in this contract? We were not informed of any blood fiend involvement in this contract. Would you look at that? No, nothing amateurs, all of them. It makes my blood boil. Watch idiots like you rushing to nab a contract just for the promise of some cash and fame. Not only do you get in the way of the hunt, but you also really spoil the fun out of this activity. Say what? So, what's so wrong with keeping your eye on the money? She's like, hey, I feel particularly called out by that. Rhodia, I don't think they're here just for the contract reward. Yes, this case seems to hold a special meaning for them. Fools driven by their creed are much more troublesome to deal with than simpletons motivated by money. I refuse to take part in an operation alongside these idiots who don't even know what it's like to deal with blood fiends. STFU. As much as I would like to avoid entertaining you amateurs, I'll admit that curiosity has gotten the better of me. What did she just say to me? Shut the fuck up, you arrogant son of a... It was shut that flap hole. Ugly. Oh. Looks like you let a bit of your personal feelings bleed into that interpretation. But yours wasn't half bad. Anyways, this isn't our first blood fiend contract, you know. It may not be much, but we've dealt with them before. We don't deserve to get talked down to by you like that. None of us. At least when it comes to fighting. Great comeback, but I'm clocking a few points for that hesitation here. Yeah, we just beat off a butt fiend last interval. The butt fiend we beat off handily in cutscene defeated my team. He got completely ass beat. Like, it wasn't even fair in the actual fight. But in the cutscene, we barely made it out of there alive. So this ain't your first rodeo, eh? Then show me what you've got. Let's see if you're all talk or if you're real hunters. Ready for the real deal?
What? Mate, are we really doing this? Here, before we even set foot in there, I'm telling you, we've got permits and everything.
Heathcliff is not the same person. I'm saying, Heathcliff is not the same person. Now, Heathcliff is trying to not get into a fight to somebody who's being a dick. Just, like, what? Don't be a baby. I'll hurt you just enough to send you home crying with a broken arm and a leg. Convince you? Will a broken arm and a leg convince you? You'll thank us on your train home. I'd say an arm and a leg are much more acceptable losses than getting your blood brutally drained by a blood fiend. Yeah. I hate it whenever cutscene Jensen takes over and completely bungles the operation. It pisses me off. Speaking of cutscene Jensen, I want to play those games. I know that they're like not the best, but I want to play them. I love Deus Ex, in theory. I like the world is incredibly cool, and Warren Spector's a goat. I just like really wanna play that universe. I love transhumanism and the cyberpunk aesthetic. Not like anybody can die on a warp train. That's fair. That's actually a really good. That's a really good point. Yeah. They had the I mean, I think I showed it to you, the H Bomber Guy video where he did talk about that that game in particular, and he was like, every time I bring up like something happening in a cutscene, or something cool or something annoying happening in a cutscene, I always say that's cutscene Jensen, because that's like what H Bomber Guy was talking about. Like every time something really cool happened, it's like in a cutscene. Like Jensen does something really cool, or he bungles it. He does something really fucking stupid. And yeah, he mentioned that in the bosses, they built the entire game and they were like, oh, that's right, we don't have any bosses. We need to make the bosses happen like right now. And they had to make it so that like you couldn't fail, or you couldn't get hard locked on the bosses by not having any ammunition. So they like programmed all of the bosses in the way that they did, and then they just slapped a bunch of guns in the boss fight. So it's like you've been holding onto this rocket launcher for the entire game because you wanted to save it for a fight where it's like really gonna be good, and it's like, oh shit, it's boss time. Good thing I saved this rocket launcher, and oh, never mind, there's one on the floor. Nice hacker build, Lamau. Fight this boss that requires 2 trillion bullets to kill. Yeah, I mean, that's, I don't know, that's why I say, like, Warren Spector gave, like, a speech about building Deus Ex and building Thief, and one of the things he said, like, whenever something cool happens, it needs to be the player that does the thing that's really cool. Like, you can't ever take the controller out of the player's hands and then do something cool in the game and then hand the controller back to them, which is essentially what a cutscene is. So every time Cutscene Jensen takes over and does that thing, it's like taking agency and a cool moment away from, you're robbing the player of being able to do something cool, which is obnoxious. But yeah, I want to play them regardless. I picked them up for super cheap, and I own them. Like, I want to play them. I just, like... Project Moon's games have literally taken me 8 months. I'm 8 months in on Project Moon. This is going to be a year-long project. Playing all of the Project Moon games to completion is going to take me over a year. Maybe, I don't know. It depends on, like, how long the last 3 Cantos are. I think I'm okay with cool things happening in cutscenes, but when I kill the boss 42 times over, I don't want to hear the boss talk about how easy a fight it was for my characters pretending they're damaged. Yeah. Well, that's something that the Project Moon has done multiple times, though. Like Ricardo, like I beat the ever-loving shit out of Ricardo, and he's like, that was easy. Oh no, somebody else is here to save you. And it's like, I really, like, I don't think we just watched the same fight unfold, because your ass got completely stomped. I hate Ricardo let you win because you had middle IDs. It's canon. Is it now? I think I only had the one middle ID when I fought Ricardo the first time. I'm pretty sure. I just targeted him. I targeted him more aggressively. There's a special hard mode version of him that has an entirely different moveset because he thinks you're middle members. Huh. That's fun. I'll have to check that out. I hate that it makes the fight easier, but I love the idea of the story where he's molding because he got fooled. Yeah, I wanna I wanna see all the stuff that the game has to offer. I wanna experience all the story stuff, but like I think once the Cantos are done, or once we're up to date on the Cantos, I don't know what if they have a timeline. From everything that I've heard from you guys before, that like the developers are just kind of like winging it in a lot of ways. I could be just like completely misremembering this, but did you guys have a conversation with me at some point where you're basically like, yeah, the lead developer was like, he's like, I have enough money to be able to keep this running without any more support for like 2 years, so fuck off. Basically, he's just like kind of doing what he wants to do, and the Cantos will, it's like it'll be ready whenever it's ready, or it's done when it's done. Is that like is that the vibe? Your transformations, I must say, I haven't seen anything like it before.
That's enough demonstration for you, you twit.
Fine, I'll admit it, you've got some skill. Oh, they're not half bad. We always welcome cooperation with fellow fixers who can carry their own weight. Hey, I recognize you. I saw you guys busily chatting away back at the warp train platform. My name's Romero, by the way. I like his energy as a CEO, but also he does need to be a bit more professional and definitely needs to hire a PR manager. I mean, yeah, I would like to know like, hey, when is the game going to be done? Cuz like I kind of want to I want to catch up to where everything is at, but like I don't like forever games. I don't like games that are like, no, you keep playing me indefinitely. I want to be able to put it down at some point and play something else. You just sat there and watched as your men were out here fighting? Yeah, but the fight was already underway when I got here, and I doubt I would have been able to talk them out of it. Besides, I had a feeling you guys could hold your own against my men. So please, allow me to ask for your understanding. They're not bad people. They're just on edge. Anyone would be after what we've gone through after what they've gone through in their struggles against the Blood Fiends. You have my understanding. Hunting entities such as those who lie beyond the ken must plant seeds of doubt in many heart of men. Right, and I do agree with them, at least partially. The bar set by P Corp and the HANA Association for fixers participating in this contract is shockingly low and indiscriminate. If it were up to me, I would have set a more strict set of conditions. His friendly smile faltered slightly as he gestured around the empty lot. Look around. Over there, by the command tent. Just one look at who we're working with, and I'm sure it'll become plenty clear that they don't know what they're walking into. They should have hired only the professionals to take this contract. Around the command tent? We all simultaneously turned to look at the large, noisy tent. Wow, chat, is this for real? Holy shit. Wow, chat, is this for real? There was a huge brawl by the entrance? It's real amateur hour out here, guys. Can you believe that I gotta stand shoulder to shoulder with these idiots for the contract? It's me! Wow, chat, do you believe this shit? What the hell is he doing? In the distance, we saw some guy running his mouth and striking several exaggerated dramatic poses in a tiny device, most likely a camera of sorts. He's like... No, we have all had experience with someone like him in the past. That guy reminds me of a certain someone. He's taking pics like that guy's Siegfried. He ran around for a while, visiting every corner of the empty lot, trying to get every detail in the frame. And suddenly started striding towards us in an annoyed gait. Hello, yes, you guys over there? Hast thou called upon us? Do you mind loitering around somewhere else? Shoo, you're getting in the way of my viewers, guys. But you're literally in our way, guy. He whipped his attention back to the camera as though he was pretending not to hear what Ishmael said, or as if he decided that her words weren't worth entertaining. Oh, you want to know where I am? Hold on to your seats, guys. I'm at the back streets of District 16. Yep, where P Corp is. Oh yeah, remember the P Corp 150 vintage semi-permanent canned ice cream unboxing and review live stream? Yep, the very same. Unfortunately, I'm not here to eat ice cream today. So I've been meaning to ask, who's that fella even talking to? The heck is he doing? I love that Gregor is very... I want to use the term unk, but I don't want it to be like uncool. He just is like an old man and has no fucking idea what's going on. I think he's talking to his viewers who are watching his show. It appears that he is the host of a certain show. It's been reported that in certain parts of the city, a new culture of live streaming via those cameras has been on the rise. Greg is unk-coded. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think a lot of people use the term unk and uncool indiscriminately. Like, I just wanted to clarify. I don't think that he's uncool. I think he just is unaware of even ironically unaware of the younger generations and what they be doing. What a rude piece of work. Don't let him get you down, kiddo. What a... Huh?
What a glorious day it is! Behold, this man is Sir Camille of Sync Association West. His name honored as one of the top 10 up-and-coming new generation fixers featured in October issues of Fixer Monthly, one of the big 3 fixer magazines of the city.
I know we say this every single time, but most people don't know what... Never mind.
How have ye not hearkened when I shared this news of grave significance aboard the bus? Hath none of you heeded mine words? Are you, babe? What will I listen to you? We are kidnapped instead.
Such hangarang over a winding path is oft a cause for sickness on the road, Miss Don Quixote. The grumbling sinners clearly existed outside Don Quixote's world. She was breathing very heavily, a look of admiration clear on her face.
I, for one, did not imagine, even in mine wildest dreams, that I should be shaking hands with Sir Camille in person.
Of course, no one shook hands or exchanged the simplest pleasantries with Camille just yet. He's uncle. That's true. He's uncle. I just like the term "unk" is confusing to me, mildly, because I thought it was shorthand for uncool. At first, I thought it was shorthand for uncle, like, you know, like not a grandpa, but like an uncle. But then somebody told me that it was short for uncool, and I was like, wait a second, that's like 2 different things. I love my uncles. My uncles are very much like my uncle Ricky would like lean in and be like, what the hell is that? And not have any idea what's going on, or be like, what the hell does that mean? And then I explain it to him and he's like, huh, how about that? He's like, not uncool, but he doesn't know what the hell's going on. No, we had short for uncool. It's basically a less harsh version of calling someone a boomer, because they're like 30. AKA already dead because you're ancient. Holy shit! I'm dead? Wait, chat, am I unk? Is that... No, I think anyone who says it's short for uncool is cringe. Now you're speaking my language. Everybody who disagrees with me is cringe. So embarrassing. Do you really have to clown around with that thing while on a mission? Wow, hey chat, look! Allow me to introduce you all to Paula from Zoe Association. She'll be my sidekick in this mission. Listen, I'm not your sidekick. As you can probably tell from her outfit, she's a fixer from the West, just like myself. The association sometimes sticks me with sidekicks like her against my will for some contracts. A joint operation, you know? Oh yeah, totally. I know. I really shine when I work alone. But what can I do? Gotta do what the higher-ups tell me to do. You get it, right? Well, why don't you say hello to my dear fans anyway, Miss Paula?
Ooh, a collaboration of the Sync and the Zwei.
Sync and the Zwei. The pronunciation always fucks me up.
The Sync and the Zwei, 2 formidable forces together as one.
I think she's tearing up.
What great, glorious, grand, blood-pumping feeling is this? My heart pounds madly, as though its explosion is nigh.
The great figures I had previously seen only through recordings,
through books, through figurines, are here before me in the flesh, conversing, ambling right before mine eyes.
He's clip farming. Some stupid kids just assume it was uncool and then told other people it was that. Yeah. Do you know most of the fixers here then, Don Quixote?
If a fixer hath been featured in one of the magazines I am subscribed to, then verily.
Right, if that's the case, and if everyone here really are all fixers, then she probably knows who that person is too, right? That person who's been staring daggers at us the whole time? Then who are they over there? That group of fixers who's been staring at us for a while.
Oh, allow me to observe. Hath our reputation already preceded us to be recognized by mere sight? Whoa! 'Tis a joyous conundrum indeed. 'Tis precisely why
why I had said that I must graciously bow out from that special feature on top of the front page of the newspaper. Wait, what? Could be worse? Could be a backronyum? What's a backronyum? I may have a few gaps in my knowledge. 'Tis probable that they are from a small upstart office that hath only recently registered itself, but 'tis clear from the fashion in which they are garbed that they hail from the east. What a relief. Conveniently, I recognize who they are. Hoy day, thou recognizest the fixture whom I do not, for truth? Don Quixote stares at Don Quixote stares at Hong Lu in utter disbelief. Merceau, come on, man. Don't look back at them. We have been looking at each other for a while. There is no reason for me to avert my eyes. My man, that's what most people call a staring contest, and it's rude. So let's just... they're walking towards us. Should we wave at them or something?
손이라도 흔들어야 할까요?
Oh, a backronym, like an acronym. But you do it backwards? Got it. Meta comes from metagaming, but some people say that it means most effective tactic available. AKA, I have no clue what the word means and I'm making shit up. That's annoying. Yeah, I could agree with that. That is annoying. Crap, then, yeah, let's stare right back at him. Let's at least not come off like we're scared of him. Yeah, confidence. You know they're within hearing distance, right? Yep, they're right in front of us.
Bloody hell, don't look away, lad. Eyeball them right back. We don't want to get caught unawares if they're about to get into fisticuffs. Oi, lass, have you got business with us or what? What's with that grain on your face?
I didn't know I'd be introducing her to everyone so soon. Please say hello to my little sister, Jia Shun. What? What? Jia Shui? Fuck. Jia? Jun? Shun? Shin? Shin? I can't. Somebody help. Chat. Somebody help me. How do you pronounce this? It looks like Z Chun, but it's not. It can't be. I think the XI is she, Jishin, she, fuck, fuck. Somebody help. Bail me out. Gia, little sister, cha-ching. Why did you make the cha-ching sound? I feel like that's something that people would probably be asking Dante. Like, hey, why did you just make a cha-ching sound whenever he said he had a little sister? I almost didn't recognize you. Last I remember, you were only up to my knees in height. That's because I was a child the last time you saw me. And here I was, wondering what kind of impressive shenanigans you were preparing for since you left home. This is it. This is all you've managed to build of your own faction? They're not my faction. I utterly want to stab whoever anglified the Chinese language. Yeah, I don't know. Is Jishin? Jishin? Chun. Chun. Fuck. Ji. Come on, let me introduce you to them. I'll start here. This is Mr. Gregor. Say hello. Yo. Don't be shy. My name's Forget it. I don't have time for this. Jia Jishun gave us a side-eye before dismissively cutting us off. Welp. Okay. Oh, hey, you've not only grown in height, Jishun. I see that your circle of friends has been growing too, just like mine. Are they new? To call them friends was a very optimistic assessment of Honglu's part. Because the people who accompanied Jia Shishun were all threateningly sizing us up as they were getting ready for a fight. You don't really think they're my friends, do you? I'm still far behind my older siblings anyway. I see. Do you know that some of us are still out here looking for you? I do. Oh, that reminds me. I ran into Jia Huan earlier and had a quick chat with him. Oh, huh. And you're still in one piece after a run-in with that asshole? Still lucky as always, huh? I think back to the time we first met this Jia Huan. His venomous words, the contemptuous look he gave us as we lay there dying. It seemed that moment was embellished into a pleasant, quick chat in Honglu's memory. Dante was trying to pronounce her name, and that's how it came out. Cha-ching. Holy shit. Let's take S-H-J-Z, S-H-Z, C-H, and shuffle them into a random letter. X-I. Jia Huan is a bit of a chump. Either that or that interaction was what counts as a quick chat for Honglu. Jichin, I overheard that this is a pretty dangerous place. People have been going missing around here. Why don't you and your friends go find somewhere else safe to take refuge in? I still can't tell if you're trying to be funny or if you're genuinely worried about me. Listen, my naive brother. I got here first, okay? Earlier than you and your faction. I mean, your second-rate minions. Is this making sense to you? I'm here to take part in the eradication of La Mancha land. I'm pretty sure I have better intel on this place than you do. You are? But why would you take part in something like this? It's not like you need the reward money, right? Yeah, you don't say. And I doubt you're in for some pocket money either. Pocket money? Huh, sure. Whatever. Pocket money. Oh, then is it... Never mind. I don't think you or Mr. Wei are going to answer that question anyway. Honglu's eyes momentarily diverted from his younger sister to her posse. There stood a long-haired man who looked toward Jia Jishin? Fuck. As though he was asking for her permission, then walked towards us and bowed deeply and politely towards Honglu. It has been a while, young master. Wow, it's been so long, Mr. Wei. Still escorting Jishin? Yes, I am still in her service despite my shortcomings. It's Ja? Jashin? Fuck. Ja. I'm worried that it might be too dangerous in there. Why don't you tag along with us, Jishin? Let's do this together. Young master, I see that you're still yourself. Forget that. Why don't you mind your own business and we go our separate ways? I can see that you and your friends have some real talent for attracting attention, but I prefer to keep things discreet. And I'd prefer it if you didn't embarrass me in there by talking to me or something. Okay, if that's what you want, Jishin. Q is CH, X is SH, C is C, ZH is J, CH is TCH, and SH is TSH. Honey, I'm not gonna remember that. Fucking... Nope. I can't. Yeah, somebody smarter than me can do it right. Or you guys, I can pronounce like I pronounced Merceau's name. I pronounced him Mersault for the first like 2 months. I'll just do that. That's fine. If you can't give me like a phonetic way of pronouncing that doesn't make me want to claw my eyeballs out, I'll just do it Mr. Salt. Mr. Salt. I thought you'd have gotten better after all this time, brother. At least better than you were the last time we met. I see. I suppose I haven't improved at all in your eyes. You should consider yourself lucky that it's me who you ran into. If it was one of our other older siblings, your pretty head would already be rolling in the dirt. Mm-hmm. Thank you. I appreciate that. Jia Shun... Szechuan scowled and opened her lips as though she was about to shoot something back, but she thought better of it, turned around and left with her posse. Well, they say it's rarer to see a happy family than it is to see an unhappy one. Don't look at me. I'll never consider that dog my family. No, but that's not what I... What are you looking at? Do you expect me to back you up or something? Oh, man. Just like old times. Huh, so she was always that spiteful? Spiteful? No. Jishin has always been, and still is, my most amicable sibling. I must ask, for I have cause to believe that I may have misheard. Still is, was it? Yes. Mm-hmm. That was... y'all sang is hitting it right now with the like, I feel like that would be an actual interaction that you'd have with a person from like West Texas. They would be like, is that what you just said? Mm-hmm. Yi-sang's expression grew into a complicated mess of emotions as he looked to the ground, unable to speak further. Looks like they're holding some kind of meeting in there. We should probably join them. I looked to where Sinclair was pointing at and saw a line of fixers walking into what appeared to be a makeshift command tent. Y'all sang and Mr. Salt, we need silly names for each center. Meatcliff with a EA. No, yeah, EA. Meatcliff. Yeah, we should. Dante is just Shuckaroonies. That's what his name is now. Hey, it's just Don Quixote. Do I have any... Hang on a second. Do I have... Cannot be edited? I have to use her base ID? Oh, yikes. Who are these people accompanying Virgilius and Charon? Damn. Not even a wave back, huh? No, this wasn't about Virgilius. Don Quixote, who stood next to me, was very gradually starting to hyperventilate. You okay, Don Quixote? The gradual acceleration of her breathing patterns was first observed 10 minutes ago. I did not report it as it posed no real risk to her health and well-being. I knew a good way of dealing with a case of hyperventilation. Ryoshu regarded me with a look that clearly and concisely communicated that she wanted to choke out Don Quixote. I tried my best to look away. Ishmael sighed and stepped forward, sensing that Ryoshu was about to do something we would rather not have her do. He laughed, but in Canto 20, when Dante uses his Shuckaruni skill that rolls 500 with 3 trillion offensive level and obliterates an arbiter or Respectiara. I'm gonna be straight with you, Necro. If this game ever does numbers like a lot of other phone games, and just if this game ever goes Disgaea on me, I'm out. I'll just read about the story somewhere else. I'm not playing number go up simulator where numbers have no value. That would drive me fucking crazy. Shichin. I respect Virgilius for just having question mark instead of 3 million. Yeah, it's mad respect. Also, it's Virgilius. Virgilius has been hiding his power level this entire time. I feel like it would be inappropriate for his power level to be revealed to us. You know, you got to respect the game. I can tell what you're going to do. What that fixer from the Hana Association, the Hana Association, is the one that's overseeing all the fixer association activities, right? I guess all the times Don Quixote went on impromptu fixer-related lectures weren't all for naught. I never paid much attention to it, but once you hear something enough times, those lectures just have a way of lodging themselves into your brain. A fixer from the Hana Association. That name alone clearly carried a lot of weight among fixers. As the Hana Association fixer dressed in pure white walked into the room, they all slowly turned around to gaze upon her. And the red gaze too. Holy crap, a color fixer here? Hey, looks like we've got yet another superstar here. Virgilius, who we'd somehow grown used to seeing after such a long period of traveling together, was commanding the attention of everyone in the room merely by his presence. That reminds me, I heard that Don Quixote was overwhelmed by sheer excitement when she saw Virgilius on the bus. I'm pretty sure she was on the verge of passing out from the sheer joy of getting to work next to a color fixer. I guess this was to be expected. Virgilius is one of the very few fixers who has the honor of getting bestowed the title of a color. Chat, are you seeing this? Crazy, right? Look, that's none other than the color fixer Red Gaze himself in the flesh. This is no mere backwaters, backstreets operations. We're talking about Remember my pregame stream? I told you guys that this had to be more than an urban nightmare. Oh, you're worried about me? Guys, listen, all I need is your support to like and subscribe, smash that button, flick my bean. Youngsters these days, between Camille's non-stop jabbering and Otis's tongue clicking in every 3-second intervals, I wasn't sure which one of the two was more annoying. Thankfully, we weren't the only ones getting increasingly tired of Camille's antics. From this point onward, any recording activity, save for official work-related recordings with prior authorization from the Honey Association, will no longer be permitted. Should you be caught in violation of this decree, the Fixer Association will be levying penalty points to your name, and we who are gathered here must be well aware of the consequences of accumulating too many penalty points. Fixer license suspension, grade demotion. Well, chat, seems like it's curtain call for tonight's show. I'll give them a valorous, noble fight, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh, and don't forget about casting your votes for the Fixer I Want to Have Dinner With contest. It closes at midnight. The Hannah Fixer's cold declaration fell upon Camille and the Fixers inside the command tent like a heavy layer of snow. They all began hurriedly fidgeting with their devices, trying to put them back in their respective cases, lenses, and bags. With that, the commotion inside the tent rapidly simmered down. Serves them right. You there, that woman with an apparently dislocated jaw appears to be part of your group. Is she all right? The Fixer from Hana Association asks in our direction, glancing at Don Quixote. Don't mind her. It's easier that way. Soon, a P Corp employee walked out in front of the Fixers. Right, round 4 against La Mancha Land, huh? I am very glad to be here. Happy to see you all. For someone who's very happy to see us, he didn't so much as glance up in our direction. I am Class 3 Documentation Staff Manager at P Corp Archival Department. My name is Alessio. And she is Han-U. So, Head Manager Cicera isn't here to brief us herself. Not willing to dirty your boots coming all the way out here, I see. Right, then, let's get on with it. Let's get on with the briefing, shall we? As we're all standing here and sharing our predictions, the employee who introduced himself, Alessio, started loading up various images on the monitor.
Mate, we really gotta go through all this bureaucracy?
The briefing is yet to even commence, however.
That was Faust.
The briefing is yet to even commence. However, Heathcliff lets out a loud, exaggerated yawn. The reproachful glares of other Fixers were so palpable that it could almost feel like them prickling up my skin. Can we pretend we don't know him? It makes me feel like I'm something of a Fixer myself. He just did the line. Say the line, Bart. Sitting here with all these people. I'm something of a Fixer myself. Executive Manager. I have been a leader of numerous operations that would dwarf this little skirmish. Numerous? I wanted to hear more about the story, but the mission briefing was actually getting started. I decided to table my curiosity until later. I gotta start reading the dialogue instead of shilling the stream. God damn it. La Mancha Land, which will manifest here within the next 3 hours, is an officially recognized urban nightmare class phenomenon. Dozens of Fixers have attempted and failed to take it down. We will now hold a moment of silence for its victims. Don Quixote immediately cast her gaze downward with graven expression. I could count with my 10 fingers the number of people who seemed to be taken even remotely seriously. Some Fixers muttered amongst themselves that the victims were just fools who were in over their heads. Even I, with my endless naivete, could tell that none of the Fixers really considered them victims. A light buzz of murmurs and idle chatter fills the silence. A look of boredom clear on the Fixer's face, as though they've heard it all before. Now, if I may direct your attention to this screen. Several low-resolution images began to load on the display. It is speculated that the origin of La Mancha Land dates back 200 years in the past, by conservative estimation. This has been determined based on photographic evidence and the level of decay of the buildings and materials retrieved and analyzed from the phenomenon. However, La Mancha Land was largely unknown and invisible to the public until 2 months ago, and the raw material that makes up this amusement park is... We know this already, just get on with it.
P Corp has the responsibility to share sufficient information to all participants of the mission. And like I said, we all have more than sufficient information, got that? Let's stop wasting time and... You seem to be under a rather severe misconception. Of course, I'm sure some of my present company are consummate professionals with the skill and grit most people wouldn't dare scoff at. Otis. But the truth is, most of you are fodder. Common as muck, painfully average garden variety. Bargain bin fixers who are most likely going to meet their dirt-filled, miserable ends while stuck on urban nightmare duty their whole careers. That's all you'll ever be. Most of you will fall by the wayside before this path leads you anywhere of even passing significance, let alone joining the rank of grade 1 fixers like myself. Some, maybe one or two of you, may make it to grade 1, sure, but I can guarantee that you won't even dare dream of getting anywhere near the Red Gaze's greatness. Maybe your best will be the honor of dying next to him, feeling the disparity between yourselves and those who are at the top of the city. The grin on the fixer's face quickly faded away as the boisterous fixer fell dead silent.
Blimey, so that Hunter fixer is almost right up there with the guide, eh? Or at least somewhere beneath this level.
Ha! Yet the Red Gaze shan't be outdone by a mere grade 1 fixer. So know your place and pay attention to the briefing. Thank you for your cooperation. Now, let's see. The reason for La Manchaland's sudden appearance here is yet to be explained. Though its influence is still confined to the back streets, the uniqueness of La Manchaland poses a tangible threat to P Corp merely by its existence. Yeah, totally, dude. The local housing market hit rock bottom and continued to crash, didn't it? The fixer from earlier, the one who tried to stop us from entering the scene before scuttling away, slowly sidled up to us and began chatting us up. Most of us ignored him, but Hong Lu responds to him in a kindly voice. Oh, is that right? Yeah, it was insane when that thing showed up here for the first time. It appeared in the middle of a dense population center. It was like two hells in one. All that screaming and blood and two hells in one, huh? What a beautiful phrasing. Well, P Corp buildings are well known for their elasticity, so while they all got bent along the newly manifested phenomenon, they didn't like crumble or anything. Anyways, when La Manchaland suddenly appeared there, pulsing and pushing away all the buildings that used to be there, people got crushed with it, and a bunch of buildings got bent. There were really a lot of survivors for something so devastating, all thanks to P Corp's singularity, which kept the people inside the buildings safe. They set up a 3-kilometer radius buffer zone to limit any construction in the area where manifests, but just 3 kilometers? Buildings utilizing P Corp's singularity have a very high level of elasticity, meaning that the buildings made use of their technology are very unlikely to collapse or fall apart in response to shock. It's probable that they have decided that it would be safe enough to let the periphery of La Manchaland slightly overlap with the residential zone. Well, you know what they say, P Corp can make a safe home anywhere. So imagine the shock when all that disaster happened. Their only claim to fame crumbled, the faith in their technology growing shaky. No wonder the real estate market crashed through rock bottom around here. I mean, it was so bad the locals banded together and stormed La Manchaland, pickets and all. So that's what those banners were about, huh? As you can all see, La Manchaland presents itself as an extravagantly decorated amusement park. One of the most commonly heard testimonies from the report state that there is an 8-kilometer range radius from the epicenter in which people have been hearing a disembodied music of sorts. Several curious civilians drawn by the music approached it, most of them yet to return. Is it possible that the music holds hypnogenic qualities? That is indeed a possibility we won't be ruling out. Too many visitors have ignored the obvious warning signs and the perimeter tapes to call it a coincidence. Possibly erring on the side of caution, we and the relevant individuals be equipping ourselves with earplugs. What must we do once this La Manchaland materializes? Once you enter its perimeters, you will have... God damn it. My yawn. The yawn. It's back with a vengeance. You will have to ready yourselves for imminent combat. There aren't any kindly Pierrots? What is that word? Define. A character in French pantomime dressed in a floppy white outfit. A male character in French pantomime, usually dressed in a white and whitened face. Pierrot. There aren't any kindly Pierrots giving away balloons, no amusement park employees popping popcorns, no staff members greeting you with a welcoming song. Only blood fiends. Huh? Blood fiends? They're real? Haven't you heard about the Blood Red Knight, that infamous star of the city? Some people say that the Blood Red Knight was actually a really powerful blood fiend. Yeah, and people say a lot of stuff. You know how rumors spread in the city? I bet it wasn't anything too crazy once you got down to it. Rumors, you'll never know how resistant, how devastatingly powerful and stubborn the Blood Red Knight was. You ignoramuses do not have the right to talk about the thing so lightly. Yes, the only things you'll find in there are blood bags and blood fiends that turned them, sharpening their fangs to fill their ravenous hunger with your blood. Blood Red Knight. Am I stupid? Did I forget what that was? Is that something that I've heard before or something I've seen before? Oh, here's the detail I was going to share earlier before I was cut off. The raw material that makes up every structure within La Mancha Land is human blood. Human blood dating back over 200 years in the past. But blood fiends can make amusement parks out of blood? Oh, now I'm looking forward to this. If it's only blood fiends we'll find in there, I'm sure they'll waste no time making mincemeat out of the greenhorns. Elena. Oh shit, yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Now you said her name and I was like, all right, I remember now. Is that how all fixers talk? The way that guy's talking about blood fiends reminds me a lot of how Ishii used to talk about the Great Lake. Hey, you can't blame us for being on edge all the time when the smallest mistake could cost us our lives. Not to mention how irritating it is when others, who don't even understand the dangers of dozing off like there's no tomorrow.
Didn't doze thanks to some soul who's been constantly stepping on my foot.
What a nice weather today, huh? It was Sinclair who was stepping on his foot, at the rather forcible behest of Ishmael, but I held my silence. The last thing I wanted was to have the two of them bickering again. Anyway, if you manage to survive for 6 hours within La Mancha Land, the music announcing the closure of the park will start playing. We were able to cross-reference this fact from the testimonies of every fixer and civilian who managed to make it out alive. Once the exit song starts playing, you'll have 30 minutes to exit La Mancha Land. Should you fail to do so, you'll be trapped inside La Mancha Land until it manifests here again, effectively putting you in an endless battle against the blood fiends. If anyone even survives that long. There also were eyewitness reports where some fixers identified missing people aboard certain amusement park rides, but that's not an important detail for those who were present. Based on testimonies and reports from these survivors, we have been able to establish a map of La Mancha Land comprised of 4 separate areas. No one has yet to make it to the final area, which is located here. However, we were able to identify that the certain device in each area, 1, 2, and 3 respectively, had to be activated first in order to unlock the final area. The device in Area 1 and 2 have been activated in the past, but no one's managed to activate the one in Area 3 just yet. Understood. I suppose we should beeline it to Area 3 to save some time then? No. It appears the device is reset when La Mancha Land disappears. In other words, we will have to divide and conquer, team up with other fixers, choose an area to tackle. I see. Split up, activate our respective devices, and rendezvous at the final area. Assuming that every team successfully activates the device they're responsible for. I'm doing my best to not yawn, and it's like a struggle every time. Correct. We suspect that the key to solving the La Mancha Land problem lies within its final area. Is there something you'd like to share? Isn't it funny that we have to go activate some kind of device in each section of La Mancha Land to unlock the final area? It's kind of like a game, isn't it? Like they're giving those who dare challenge the might of La Mancha Land stages to beat, conditions to fulfill. How should we know what the blood fiends are thinking? Those monsters are born twisted. Hannah, we have something we'd like to confirm. The Zwei Association is here to rescue our client, not for the eradication reward. Don't you mean the Zwei and the Sink? Don't leave me out. Therefore, the Zwei and the Sink have no reason to enter the 3 areas to activate those devices. I suppose you could take over from here for the sake of accuracy. Oh, sure. Right, I'm sure you all have your own reasons for being here, yes? Therefore, we at P Corp set up an eradication dividend fund, which means that we will be giving out the reward money based on how much you have contributed to the eradication of La Mancha Land. assuming a successful outcome, that is. If your goal isn't the eradication of La Mancha land, then feel free to roam on your own to fulfill your own respective contracts, as long as you acknowledge that you won't be receiving any payout from that fund upon the successful completion of this expedition. You are free to do as you will. However, we would also like to request that you submit a copy of that contract so that we are aware of its details. Understood. I will hand it over as soon as the meeting adjourns. Speaking of which, I'd like to take this opportunity to declare something. If you, and I mean if any of you, intend to ride on our coattails to pilfer more of the reward than you deserve, I'll hunt you down, too. Got that? Ladies and gents, I can attest that he isn't one for empty threats. Can't promise I'll be able to stop him. He sure is intense. I understand that as a lot of money hinges on this contract. However, remember that our primary objective remains to minimize casualties, to prevent further disappearances. Leave some of that selfishness behind and cooperate for the greater good. Fine, I'll cooperate, if that's even possible. The Hana fixer did not contradict him. She was the kind of person who wouldn't hesitate to put her foot down. She could have easily forced us into cooperating, but it seemed that she wouldn't keep us from infighting, if it did come to that. Don Quixote was the only one passionately nodding along with her advice. So who's going with who, and which area? Ji-chun, Honglu's little sister, who'd been listening quietly to the briefing, raised her hand with a question. You'll be assigning to teams and areas based on our internal data analyses of your individual capabilities, potential, and alignment. So we should probably avoid overcrowding, huh? Such as saddling us a group of a dozen or so people, for example. Saddling us. Shouldn't it be saddling us with a group of a dozen? Anyway, I think I know what she's saying, but it's not super clear. We intend to avoid bottlenecking too many people in the same area. She's not hiding her disdain at all, huh? Well, it's not like we wanted her to tag along. If there are no further questions, I'll be assigning you all to teams and area pairs. Hold! Every single fix in the room whipped around to look at Don Quixote, at her bellowing roar. Perhaps it was the sheer fervor in her voice, or perhaps they were simply annoyed by her asking that one last question when the boring briefing was almost over. Oh, please, don't tell me this is actually happening.
Oh, oi. That actually woke me up this time.
No, this might be the best time to go back to sleep, bud. Would have resulted in a summary execution back in my day. Okay, and the question is?
Hark! It appeareth that the information of the greatest import is missing from thy briefing.
It is? A moment, please. Alessio began flipping through the briefing, flustered.
When shall the rescue operation for the victims of this terrible amusement park commence? I believe that an operation of such grand scale may be difficult to accomplish only with the help of sirs and ladies from the Zwei and Sink Association.
Hey, is that like a character you're playing or something? That's not mainstream at all. I like it, though I gotta say, playing a character is a bit old-fashioned. At least I know that my viewers won't enjoy something like that. It appears that there's been some misunderstanding. Our contract has nothing to do with rescuing the visitors, let alone all of them. Our contract is a search and rescue operation for a specific visitor requested to us by our client.
Then, whoever shall make up the rescue party for the rest of its victims?
Is she for real? Where do these idiots come from? Dude, let me see. Unless you have been specifically contracted to rescue someone, I recommend that you pursue the missing persons flyers for the rewards.
Yet, it is not the promise of the rewards I desire. So many valiant fixers are gathered here, yet no one taketh up the role of a rescuer. Prithee, fixer of Zwei, art thou not one of the Zwei? One of those who call themselves your shield?
Yeah, they're shields, all right. The iron shields of whoever enters an official contractual agreement with them.
Fie, yet a fixer mustn't wager their life. Fie, yet a fixer mustn't wager their own life on shallow promise of capital. Pray tell, when did the fixers of associations abandon honor for greed?
Oh, jeez. Okay, that's enough playing around. Do you even have any idea who you're talking to?
I am very well aware, young Camille of Sink Association, Section 3, frequent feature of the Fixers Monthly Magazine. Currently number 7 of the Fixers, I want to have dinner with contest.
Huh? So you know you're... Wait, I'm only number 7? Well, that's not important right now. If you're so knowledgeable about the fixers, then I'm sure you know this as well, that I, as a fixer of the Sync Association, am not one to waste breath on mere words. When we want to settle something or make a statement, we duel, an official duel to the death. Then, wilt thou heed mine word, should I best thee in a duel? What? Should I best thee in a duel? Wilt thou swear on thine honor that thou shalt assist us in the rescue mission for those who have gone missing? Wait, are you seriously challenging me to it? No. I, Don Quixote, perforce, shall not so lightly forsake my creed. I hereby challenge thee to a duel. Jesus fucking Christ. Beat his ass, Don Quixote. Oh my god. Things were quickly starting to spiral out of control. Almost panicking, I glanced toward Virgilius. But I couldn't read his expression. He was simply staring at us in that inscrutable silence. Silence that almost felt like warmth. I like it. I love that bit right there. Somehow I found myself getting more intimidated by this than our outright anger. Okay then, I'll end the briefing here. It can be determined from prior experience that it will be impossible to stop the presently developing situation. Pupils dilated, brows furrowed at a steep angle, clear refusal to heed any external input. Our attempts to coax her will not be met with any meaningful response. So she's lost it. I neglected to mention this earlier at the empty lot, Dante, on account of the lack of prying eyes. I recommend against turning your clock with the eyes of every fixer participating in the case are watching us intently. Especially for a duel in which there is very little benefit to be gained. This includes summoning identities from different worlds to use, or use of the ego. Well, yeah, but it's not like we won't be using them once we get inside, right? I don't see what's wrong with... Just as I was trying to convince Faust otherwise, Don Quixote stepped in and resolutely shook her head. Nay, worry not. 'Tis an unnecessary crutch. What, seriously? A duel against a member of the Sync Association must be fair and just. Never did I intend to borrow thy strength, Manager Esquire, for this hallowed battle of mine. Fine. Sucks that I don't have my fans here to watch me wipe the floor with you, but I'm sure someone here will spread the story of my word by... I'm sure someone here will spread the story by word of mouth. I won't throw my gauntlet out of pity. En garde, petite nouveau. He just say little noob?
수상한 건 그치 아빠?
뭐 복선이라도 꺼는 건가?
출진이다!
천재 좀 귀찮아.
Allez.
이제 싸우려나 본데?
Struggling. That's not good. That's actually, this is your best, this is the best you've gotten. You're struggling.
볼 시간에 팍 튀어나가서 머리통부터 으깨놓을 텐데.
I think she's gonna die here, dude.
뭐야? 여기서는 그 놀라 커다란 대검으로 몸통 구멍부터 내야 한다고. 아빠가 전에 그랬잖아.
어디 보자. 팝콘 챙겼고. 저 여기 거. 역시 우리 딸내.
출진이다!
그러면
Oof.
시작해 볼까?
Uh-oh, we're staggered.
엔딩을 이따
Yeah, without the IDs, we're cooked. Simply evade. 'Tis but a light wound. Thou art sorely mistaken. If thou truly believest that such meager wounds could... That was definitely more than just a light wound. It was an outright crippling, if not fatal. Camille wasn't all talk, after all. He moved at an impressive speed and precision, living up to his boasts. I couldn't bear to look at Don Quixote squirm in pain, but turning the clock here would leave an even greater wound in her heart. 'Tis not the end. Ugh, what a waste of my blade. I'd rather not have others hear of this duel. They'll think I'm bullying some poor amateur. That's enough, Camille. It's no crime to wish for the safety of all victims. Yeah, but her attitude needs correction. Spouting nonsense like that, not knowing who she's talking to. Fix her this, honor that, justice, and doesn't she know it's all just... Ugh. That's enough shenanigans. Let's not all waste our strengths before even stepping a foot into La Mancha land. Cause further trouble and I'll put a stop to it myself. La Manchaland, ETA in approximately 1 hour. After an hour from now, the phenomenon may appear at any moment. Please remain in close proximity to your teams in case of an emergency. The momentary kerfuffle came to a close thanks to the Hana Association's intervention. Ugh. And only silence and occasional groans of pain from Don Quixote filled the empty lot. Let's get back inside. I can't turn my clock in front of so many people. You're pretty sure you can do enough damage to him that he just does the cutscene attack? That's cheating. See, it's cutscene Jensen again. We're back to cutscene Jensen winning the fight. Doesn't know that I, number 7 fixer on dinner date list, am a clout chasing scumbag playing a character on a stream. Yeah, that's toxic. But it is very Don Quixote to do that. Well, does anyone want to take a quick stroll around the empty lot while we wait? After nervously looking around the room, Rhodia tried to leave the tent, but Virgilius stopped her. No, stay. I have something to share.
Oh, come on, can't you give her a moment at least until the mission's over with? I know the lass really botched it this time, but nothing came of it in the end, did it?
The company has some exclusive information they'd like to share with you. That is the only reason I asked you to stay.
Sir, Lord Redgaze, earlier, what I had done.
I won't hold it against you, so be quiet and pay attention.
Oh, Redgaze, the illustrious, I swear to pledge mine undying loyalty to thee.
Virgilius produced a small tablet and began loading something up on its screen. I love this. Because the vibe I'm getting here is Virgilius agrees with Don Quixote that, like, fixers now are basically scumbags. And I think her aggrandizing fixers and putting them up on this pedestal is what annoys him. But her actually coming face to face with it, straight up being like, I'm gonna fucking battle you to the death if you don't rescue people. Like, I think that Virgilius and Don Quixote have a very similar, like, code of honor per se, but he finds all of her aggrandizing of the fixers to be really trite and just obnoxious. Camila is definitely parroting a specific type of streamer, and I support Virgilius and wanted to beat the fuck out of him. Me too. Genuinely, I'm not a huge fan of that particular genre of streamer. I don't know, just like I am very aware that there's a camera on me, but like I live a massive amount of my life now because of my tutoring job and everything else I spend on camera anyway. I don't think I'm all that different on camera, like during my streams versus during real life. I really don't think I'm all that different. And that like person who's like basically clout seeker, that annoys the fuck out of me. Clout seeking annoys the fuck out of me. Do it for clout. The one who will now brief us on this exclusive intelligence cannot be with us in person due to personal reasons. She wanted me to tell you that she regrets having to deliver the information remotely via this device. Hello, 1, 2, testing. Am I coming through? Huh? Didn't the Hana fixer ban any unauthorized recordings or video feeds earlier? Of course, but we've received prior authorization. Besides, P-Corp is already recording the conversations of every participant in this mission. That just sounds like a roundabout way of saying they've got us all bugged. Of course, the authorization was not free. We had to convince them that the information would be pertinent to capturing the entity of the origin of La Mancha Land. LCD on-site investigative reasoning team leader Moses here. I've been studying and investigating the distortion phenomenon for a long time, and that reminds me, we did have a quick call with someone from the LCD team back then. She had a pretty bubbly personality. I think her name was Ezra. Hey, it's me again, Ezra. Been a while. Hunting blood fiends this time, huh? Don't tell me you're about to jump headfirst into that business without even asking our team leader. I'm telling you now, she used to bust plenty of blood fiend heads back in the day. And you tell him how you used to whoop them, boss. You go shh, and that smoking pipe, and I do like Ezra. She's adorable. Well, yes, I do have some experience with investigating and battling blood fiends. I've even met one of the blood fiend elders, known as the First Kindreds. Wait, one of the first kindreds? Let me see. The one we fought last time was a 6th kindred and a 7th kindred. Well, I don't want to waste your time by talking your ears off about what happened that day, so I'll get straight to the point.
Didst thou say the first kindred?
Of course not. Yeah, 'cause she went easy on him. I tell ya. No, the Blood Fiends took mercy on me. Our meeting wasn't as bloody as the scene you might be imagining at the moment. In fact, she was generous enough to give me a place to sit, and we even had a moment to converse.
What? The blood fiend gave you a seat? You expect me to believe this shite?
Ezra is also strong AF? Really? Maybe the vibe she's giving me right now is similar to Noi from Dorohedoro. Noi, I love Noi. I think Noi might be one of my favorite characters. I think Noi might be my favorite character of that whole show. There's so many good different. She does have absurd proportions. Are you talking about Noi or are you talking about Ezra? Does Ezra have absurd proportions? Or I mean, Noi's proportions are insane, but I love her. I love her for it. All I wanna do is see you turn into a giant woman. Hey, rude! You do not talk to the our team leader like that. Capiche? I do understand that the public's perception of blood fiends is far from amicable, but I do know that at least some of them, including the elder I met. God damn. I might have to end stream early. They're installing some, a plumber's here and is installing some stuff. And if that is what it's gonna sound like, I think I'm gonna need to go. Yeah, holy shit. Nah, she's only 6'2", but I bet they fucked up the scale. Ezra's like 8 feet tall. God damn. I do understand that the public's perception of blood fiends is far from amicable, but I do know that at least some of them, including the elder I met, wish for a peaceful coexistence with humans. Back then, I used to be able to state with absolute certainty that the blood fiends weren't special, that they were no different from the distortions I'd faced in the past. Those wells of blood splashing inside their pupils were my evidence, but when I shared this thought with the elder, they did not confirm nor deny my assertions. But now, I'd like to make a correction of my prior theory. Blood fiends cannot be explained only through the simple lens of viewing them as distortions. Their essence is similar to that of distortions, yes. However, we eventually drew the conclusion that the blood fiends cannot be filed under that category. Our attempt to resolve a blood fiend as one does a distortion failed. Studies into their true origin are currently underway. If your team is looking for the blood fiends, I suppose you have some publicly unavailable information to share with the rest of us. Yes, I suppose we do. I noticed on the video feed that Moses intently yet briefly stared at Otis before continuing with her briefing. Maybe they knew each other from somewhere. Which brings us to this. The following is what we learned about kindreds of the true blood fiends. Those in the same vein as the one you have already encountered. I'm not talking about the ones that manifested as distortions after the White Nights and Dark Days incidents, mind. It is said that the primogenitor, the very first blood fiend, wielded unimaginable power and could embrace countless humans and turn them into their kindred. However, starting from the kindreds of the first generation after the primogenitor, which are referred to as the first kindreds, they were restricted to creating only 2 kindreds of a lower generation in their long existences. Something about how they can't just create families willy-nilly or something like that. I drew this chart, by the way. Not half bad, huh? Huh, yeah. I think that cassette guy was pretty disappointed about choosing Shasha as his kindred. Faust finds the inaccuracies of your statement difficult to correct due to their egregious nature. When a blood fiend of a higher generation creates a lower generation kindred, the one that embraced them is called a higher kindred, while the one that's been embraced is called a lower kindred. It is often the case that kindreds higher up the bloodstream wield a much greater power than the ones beneath them. You started your sentence with the conditional, it is often the case, therefore it can be interpreted as a statement that there are cases in which such is not the case. You're right on the money, just like how each distortion is different, blood fiends are also different in ways that our team leader will explain. Yes, each blood fiend's power and idiosyncrasies often vary depending on the higher blood fiend's abilities. However, it's usually impossible for lower blood fiends to revolt against someone higher up in the bloodstream. While there is no physical barrier stopping them, there is an intense psychological barrier preventing them from doing so. Like a parent and their child, huh? Yes, like parents and their children, considering that they even call one another with familial terms such as father, mother, and child. It is no mere metaphor. That is why they call such acts of revolt going against the bloodstream filial impiety. Just as how blood becomes their axis of value judgment, so does this idea of the inviolable relationship between family members get imprinted into the core of their very being. Upon being turned, blood fiends experience that extreme level of twist in their moral judgment. And that's why the blood bags who are at the bottom of the rung of the family tree, blood bags, are a different story. Blood fiends and blood bags are the furthest two groups of beings. Blood fiends and blood bags are the furthest two groups of beings could be from a family. Dregs that failed to become kindreds. To blood fiends, they are quite literally portable bags of blood to replenish themselves at times of need. Team leader, you should mention this too. You know when I snapped their necks and smashed them right into water? Yes, blood fiends have an irrationally extreme fear of water. Water doesn't physically harm them, but every blood fiend I have seen thus far has been afraid of it. Huh. Sounds like an easy solution then. Can't we just spray them with water to keep them off our backs? Since you're about to visit their den that's crawling with blood fiends, good luck finding even a drop of water in there. Oh, and I was informed that one of you can sense a distortion. I learned this through an unofficial channel, but I still wish to share. Glad to know there's someone else out there who understands this particular sensation. I'd very much like to meet you in person one day. Real shame we can't be there to see it ourselves. Are there any fixers there? I heard earlier that stupid Camille kid will be there too. Kick his ass for me, won't ya? I tried to pull a prank on him, but the bastard banned me from the chat. She got kicked out of chat. Actually, from his chat, I feel like she's pretty based for that. Well, he already kicked one of our asses. Oh, Vespa, come on, I told you to hold the line. It appears that they are partaking in quite the activity themselves. I think we can end the call here, Moses. Very well. Got any last words of advice? Any last words? I once heard that some kindreds higher up in the bloodstream have overcome their fear of water. Blood eventually does get thicker than water after all. Now, let's see if there's anything I left out. I must advise you against underestimating their bloodlust, because no matter how hungry for blood you think they are, they will be worse. What's that supposed to mean? With her last words, which left us wondering what they were supposed to mean, the call dropped. Yeah, I was expecting the plumber to show up after 12 o'clock, but he got here a bit earlier than I was expecting because we were supposed to be his second job for today. So I think I'm gonna need to call it a stream today, unfortunately, because I'm pretty interested in what's going on here. The carnival, just first of all, super excited about it being Don Quixote's, right? But then the carnival aspect of it piqued my interest. The carnival being full of blood fiends, I can't wait to get in there. I want to get in. But yeah, that means I'm gonna need to hop off of stream. I will be available in the Discord, and I'll be around to play some games and hang out and chat. So yeah, if you're around, I'll see you guys in the Discord. Have an awesome night if I don't see you, and yeah, keep on keeping on. You know, the thingy that we do. Just live, and if you can, do something nice for yourself today. I forgot to read this one. Of the excellent dialogue in which our exceptional informant LCD department has passed intel to us in our second communication. Wonderful. I'll see you guys later. Toodles. Goodbye.